Hello and welcome. I'm your host Gadd, and meet my horses for today's video, Mary Kate and Ashley. In today's video, I will be going over my support Crusader PvP build as a free-to-play player in Diablo Immortal. Let's first start off with the playstyle. This build can buff and support players on your team and rack up assists. What I like to do is choose a player to support and stick with them. I stay on idols and position myself near my teammates. This build has kill potential, huge damage reduction, and 2 horses. I will break down my skills, legendary set bonuses, reforge bonus, and legendary gems. First, Consecration. For the legendaries, I use Anointed Brimstone on the helm and Daybreak on the chest. Consecration now supercharges you into being a holy fire tank, giving you and nearby teammates 50% damage reduction while burning nearby enemies. But this also causes you to lose HP while active. Yes, that's why they call it Sacrificial Flame. Not to worry though, you can still benefit from this. The HP loss can be blocked each tick, which brings up the next skill of this build, Punish, as my primary attack. Using the legendary essence Observer on my second main hand and Grimcrack Buckler on my first offhand. Reason for this is for different PvP events that may only use the first 6 legendary essences. The main focus is the Buckler, which buffs your punishes, hardened senses, not only increasing your block by 30%, but making all your blocks explode. So all damage done to you that is blocked makes you a walking bomb. The Observer is a stacking debuff that increases damage taken on your target. For my second offhand, I use Mete ID Mercy, which increases the primary attack by 57% to enemies suffering total loss of control, which is only stun and immobilization. I do change this out depending on the Battleground meta to Last Swim, which makes Consecrate slow all nearby enemies and reducing the cooldown. Fallen Sword. On my first main hand, I use the Luminous Rain, which gives you Divinity Rod, damaging all nearby enemies and slowing their movement speed. This is great for pressuring, sniping kills from afar. The slow can help kill off other players, and it also hits stealth players you may not see. Conjuration of Light. Using the shoulders, Wind Blessed Plagiums increases the immunity duration for you and your teammates. Conjuration has a very short range and a long cooldown. The positioning and timing is very important. Remember, this only works on players on your team. I use Conjuration of Light in many different situations. Damage prevention, saving teammates, fight engagement, even chain immunity with other satyrs. One other thing, teammates that are untargetable, like when leaping into the air or ghosting, cannot be protected by Conjuration from what I've noticed. Let me know in the comments if that's true or not. Draw and Quarter. Lastly, I use the legendary essence Light Strider, which summons 2 horses, Mary Kate and Ashley. Yes, I name all my Crusader horses. These 2 beautiful ladies are untargetable summons that do massive damage and knockback. Since they are summons, they benefit from your attack speed, buffs, and other attributes. When summoned, they can knock back and do damage to all enemies in front of you. While attacking, they will knock back enemy players every 4 seconds. Their targeting system is set on aggressive, so whoever you are attacking, they will focus on. I've had times where one would stay on my target while the other would attack someone else that is attacking me. Overall, this is a pretty fun set of skills that work really well together. Set gear. I run a 4-piece set Untouchable Mountebanks and a 4-piece set Vestige Urge. Mountebanks gives me a 33% shield of my maximum life every 9 seconds and makes me unhindered while the shield is active. And Vestige Force set is major for support satyrs because all your skills are beneficial effects, making them last even longer and adding attack speed buff to myself, teammates, and the twins as well. Reforge set. Alright, enough staring at my balls. To obtain massive balls, go to the blacksmith, reforge tab, and reforge your legendary with 3 of the same family attributes. I run the Trimmer family attribute, which has a massive AoE stun damage. I highly recommend for the PvP and PvE. At the time of this recording, I'm testing the Jolt set for the immobilization effect to have 2 additional total loss of control abilities, so I would benefit from the Mete ID Mercy damage increase. I recommend, depending on your gear level, going for at least a 3-set Trimmer bonus on some of your gear for the stun, while speccing into knockback resistance, stun resistance, and reducing continuous damage. That's damage over time effects. Next, I roll into increased beneficial effects on all my gear slots. I roll attack speed just enough to be at the attack speed cap when Vestige is active. Then lastly, it's up to you. I roll increased skill damage in a few slots, and I also have a 4-set bonus to increase the damage of Tremor by 10% when it procs. Legendary gems. I got pretty lucky with a few of my gems and also made tons of mistakes along the way. My main mistake was spending my platinum incorrectly on gems I ended up using it for power. That was okay. That's the fun of it, right? As a free-to-play player, I can never awaken my gem, so I focus on 2 and 5 stars for the resonance and bonus effects. Maybe one day they will make a way to obtain Dawning Echo. Till then, I run a Blood-Soaked Jade for increased damage and movement speed, while also decreasing damage taken under 50% life. Bottle Hope for the increased damage, movement speed, and skill cooldown reduction. Blessing of the Worthy for the decrease to all damage taken, doing damage to nearby enemies for 70% of my current life. Pain Class for increased damage to target suffering from damage over time effects and movement speed. Spiteful Blood. This gem makes me even tankier. It will proc when my life goes under 50%, making me invulnerable to enemy players' primary attack. It shields 40% of my base total damage and increased damage while active. Maul the Deep for pull and knockup effect while also shredding armor on hit. Starfire Shard for knockback effect, mass fire damage over time. And lastly, the Rolling Consequence, which is oxed into my Seeping Bowel at the moment. Rolling Consequence adds an additional explosive and damage over time that procs every hit for 6 seconds. This also gives you a buff, so it procs Vestige, procs damage from Buckler and Brimstone that can completely melt players near you. This gem is truly a must-have. It can massively increase your DPS. It makes a pretty cool effect around your character when it's active too. Paragon. I first tested and practiced this build with Gladiator in Battleground and Vault PvP. It took some time to know how everything worked together, from the shields, damage reduction, how good the resistance works, and how to support a team. After about a week of playing this build in PvP and PvE, I upgraded to the Warden Paragon. This Paragon made me truly tanky, even versus 4K, 5K resonance players. Warden is the way to go, with the size increase making you faster, reduced damage taken for every nearby enemy, and a huge shield every 30 seconds. With the damage mitigation in this build, you can block and negate a lot of damage. Depending on the meta in the battlegrounds, highly recommend Warden, but Gladiator works really well too. The good thing of this build is you'll be super tanky, has great team damage reduction, you'll stack up assists, and you have untargetable summons. The cons are that you have no dash or leaps, no movement speed buffs, no CC immunity, and you have to maintain hardened senses and concentration during a team fight just to stay tanky. If you have any questions about this build, drop them in the comments or direct message me in game. Well, this is it for now. I'll talk to y'all next time. Thanks for watching.